Hi Stampers, Gaynor again, and I'm having a play with this beautiful country birdhouse. So I've done this card. I used designer series paper, but I used a piece of old card. This is off the back of the Stampin Up DSPs you get. It's a little bit thicker, but I thought that the designer series paper was a bit flimsy, and not only that, I got this lovely little scalloped edge out of it just to give it a pop of colour. I used some beautiful flowers, and these are from the Country Flowers set. These will be the flowers I use, 2 large, 3 small. I'm going to this time, instead of using the plain back as a background, I'm going to use the wood this time as a background and reverse the card, so the birdhouse will be stamped out of this. Oh, mind you, I need some of that. Mind you, I've got little offcuts of brown here. Don't know how much I've got to do. Oh, and I saw the beautiful Dawn from Dawn Stampin' Thoughts. She wanted to know what this die does. Well, it actually cuts that hole out, and then it cuts the center hole so it fits just under the bird's feet. Let me show you the stamp. Well, you can see it on here. So it cuts the hole out for there. It also cuts a hole out in the center that will glue onto there. So it's slightly smaller than that hole. So if you wanted a border, you could use your 3/4 inch circle punch. Then you could die cut it in designer series paper and layer the two. That way you'd have a circle in the center, and then your designer series paper would just be on the inside, so you'd still get a black. But that little hole there covers that hole there. Not only that, you do have, where's that gone? Here it is. You also have a tiny little hole as well, in case you want to layer that up, because that's slightly bigger than that hole, if you get what I mean. So you've got that hole to make that hole. You've got that hole to make that hole, and then that tiny little hole fit inside there, so you've got a border on that as well. So she was doing a video live last night, and I watched it, and it was like, I don't know what this is for. It looks like a steering wheel, and bless her, it does look like a steering wheel. But I just clicked onto a video after I'd finished using this for my. That's what it cuts out basically. So it's slightly smaller than the hole, as you can see. But if you want to cut a 3/4 inch circle out with your circle punch, then use this die with designer series paper, you could have a brown frame and then a piece of DSP just to give it an offset look, and then this tiny little hole should layer up with that one. I haven't tried it yet, but that's the hole size that one cuts. So it's pretty big, but that one's a lot smaller, so I didn't keep that hole, but that's what they're for anyway. So that I'm going to use for my hole. I might use that one and get my circle. Let me just see my circle punch. 3/4 inch. Where are you? There we go. Because I remember Dawn saying she used a 3/4 inch circle for her hole. The die is already there, so let's pop that out. Oh, now it gives you the tiniest little border, but if you can see, it does layer it up. Let me put those back in there before I forget. Let me just get a spot of glue. I'm just going to layer it up. It's tiny the border, but you've got a dark line all the way around, so it does layer up. So you can use your 3/4 inch punch, which fits perfectly, and then you've got the layer, so it just gives you that hollow look inside the bird, and then that tiny little hole fits there. So there we go. That's what I thought I'd show you, how you use that. Woohoo! We get there in the end. So I don't need this for a minute. So that's going to be the backing, just so it gives me a firmer base. I'm going to stamp my birdhouse, and we're going to die cut the two together. And then this is going to be my backing paper instead. So let's glue that down when we got it out. And I did use the back of this brown to use on the rest of my birdhouse after I cut the birdhouse out. So, oh, look at that, just goes on. Oh, I've got it on the wrong side. Oh, I'll have to stick it down now. I just noticed that my card is a tiny little bit bigger at the back. It should be the other way around, so it's tiny bit bigger at the back, not at the front. So what I'm going to do, I will rectify that now, and I will just trim that little. Now I've got, should have a perfectly fitting card. Lovely. So I've used the back in this time. I am going to grab my stamp, and I stamped it in grey. Oh, in my, what colour is this one? This is smoky slate. Give that a good, and I'm going to stamp it down the bottom because I want to use all the other bits for die cutting other pieces. I don't have to stamp on here, I'm just going to cut it out because it's just going to back it, that's all. Cute. Oh, there's a little line missing there, but we won't notice that because we're going to use that ink again after. I might use that little hole now, see? That will be the centre of my birdhouse hole, so I don't need to cut that out, that's already done. I will cut a little brown hole for this, the bottom half. I'm not going to glue it down yet, so I'm just cutting them out ready. There's quite a bit of die cutting, but if you've bought the set as a die set, even if you haven't got the die set, you can use a hole punch. Will do that, a little hole. I just want to put that away before I lose it. So there's that hole that's gonna go on there. See how much bigger it is? It's just the perch for the bird to sit on. And the reason I'm adding a backing, when I add the bird at the back later, oops, I'll get that in there out the way. Don't worry about this, we're going to cover this with designer series paper. I don't think I've got enough to do. No, I don't think I've got enough for that. Or the little stand. So what? I'll grab my paper. And do you know what? I'm not going to cut brown. I might do the blue this time. Or I might do that wooden bit. I'm just swapping it up a little bit. I'm using up scraps instead of using other bits. So let's put them to one side. I want little white flowers, and also I'm going to use the back of this card to cut my little white flowers out as well, so I'm not wasting, because that'll give me a gorgeous little pattern which is on the flower. And you can't tell that's this thick cardboard. Everyone else would have thought that was just white cardstock. This little tag is from the perennial postage for the Hello Friend, which is this one here, and it fits beautiful. So let's pop that to one side. So I'm definitely going to use those, so let's leave those there. I'm going to use that for our roof. So let's do this. Let's fetch the plate in to show you. So the plate's going down, my paper is going down. They're roughly the same size. And then my birdhouse is going on the top. And I would love to fetch the machine in, but I can't pick it up. So give me 2 seconds. I will cut that out quickly. I might be able to do the other bits on the smaller one. There we go. Oh, look at that. Let's cut that out beautiful. And it's also cut it from my thick cardstock. I am going to lift it up and glue it, but you won't see this section. We'll have a piece on here, and we'll also have our white frilly bit there as well. I didn't do the inner part because you've got this. You've got one to cut that out, one to cut the scallops, and one to layer over the scallops. I didn't do that section of the middle one. I just did those 2. So birdhouse is done. I've got all this paper now to get. I might even do that. So again, I'm going to flip that over, take off my die, pop that back in my stamp set so I don't lose anything. I'm going to cut out the scalloped edge just for pop of colour. What else? I've got my lovely little bird. I won't do that yet. So I've got my trough. So let's pull this down. So I cut my trough out as well. I might use that blue section there. Oh, look at that, beautiful. And where's the other bit? I'm just going to have the pattern, which is going to be navy blue on the other side. So let's trim that down a bit. So I've got my 2 parts of the roof, my trough. Where's those flowers? And then the flowers to go. Right, let me cut this down because I want the white flowers. And the pattern goes the other side. So I'll make sure I've got all my bits. So my lovely 5 flowers. Perfect. I can get all that done in one. I just need, oh, now let me see if I can get the stand as well. So let's move that down. Let's move this down because we're using the blue on the other side. Oh, look at that. Stand, roof, perch, other part of the roof, flowers. We've got it all coming out of there. And then all we have to do then is stamp our beautiful bird, which I might do on this pattern paper, or I might just do on the white. So give me a second again. Oh. Crank it up. Oh, did you hear that clang then? So it's off. So there's my trough. Oh, look, it's separated, so I can glue that down. It's just for stability, and if you're lacking on dimensionals, cut it out of cheap cardstock several times, and you won't. Oh, look at that! I love that with the wooden element. Then it's going to have this in there. Then we've got our stem, which we could turn over and use the navy blue section. Then we've got the beautiful blue roof. Oh, that is so sweet. Then we've got this gorgeous pink to offset the colours. Looking good. And then, now let's just pop these to one side. And then I've got these gorgeous flowers, all using scrap card. but will turn into an absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Oh, they're all joined. Ah, they're all joined. Oh, that's all right. I could put that somewhere. So let me just get a bit of that. Let me choose the other flowers. So 3 and a 2. Let's pop this away because I can use the smaller one now. But I've still got all this designer series paper. Let me move these bits because Gaynor's just going to miss them somewhere. Oh, wrong stamp set. Phone. If it catches on my wire because I'm knocking the desk, it bleeps. It's like a warning to say it's not plugged in, but it is. So fingers crossed. You might lose a bit of sound, but I don't mean to. Right, now we've got our flowers. So don't worry, we'll use the others as well. Pop them out. I mean, your pattern is on the white side. So don't think you've got to use up all your basic white cardstock to make flowers. You can just use any old bit of cardboard that you've got floating around. Love it. And the die is away. Oh, I have to remember where all these bits go. Now we just need a section. I'm going to use that. I think that might be wide enough to stamp my little birdie. Where's my ink pad? Oh, there we go. We get 2 out of there. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Oh, I tell you what I did as well. Let me get my little house while that dries. It's got some dashes in there. I'm going to stamp those as well. I did it over this, but I did it over the birdhouse so it looked weathered. So again, and don't worry because we're covering all these holes up. I'm just going to stamp, make the birdhouse look a bit weathered, as if it's been in the rain, splashing around. So cute. While we're out, I've got a piece, and I'm going to stamp my hello friend. Perfect. Click that into place. So we've done our stamping as well. We've got our little birdhouse. We'll put everything together in a moment. I need to die cut. I'll get my bird put away. Knowing my luck, I'll lose it. Whoa! So we need we're going to fussy cut. We're going to die cut that sentiment out, and it fits in there beautiful. So I'm not going to try doing the birds and everything at the same time. Knowing my luck, I'll mess it up. So there's our sentiment. And that's die cut out from there, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. I love these postal stamps as well. So pretty. Now my little bird is. And I just put the bird die away, and I just need that now for the birds. Oh, Gaynor, Gaynor, what you like. I'm cutting 2 of those beautiful birdies out. So there's one. I'm going to move this along. Let me flip my mat because it will start to curl otherwise. Make sure that's on there lovely. So we've done our die cutting. I'll fetch you down and show you how I coloured the birds. There we go. That's so cute. I'm making sure, knowing my luck, I'll have to sort throughout all these stamps later and dies to make sure I've got them in the right cases. I've got so many things on my desk. I haven't finished playing with this set as well. I've got a couple more cards coming up using the birdhouse. So, I have got, let me zoom you in. So this is one of my orange for its beak and its feet. One of them, you're not going to see the feet, but I've used it anyway. And then this is the light balmy blue. Don't ask me why. And I'm just colouring the wings. And using it up the tail. I'll show you then. So colour the wings. Don't worry if you don't colour it all in. So sweet. And then I'm going to use this is the light smoky slate, and I'm just going to go around and darken just the wings to tone the blue down a little bit, as well as cover this cute little birdie in. So sweet. So I just went around. I just actually went over. How cute are those? But I'm going to grab my scissors. This one is really close. I like that one. This one, I'm just going to literally trim along the feet. I don't know why I'm doing that, because they're going to get hidden anyway, but I'll show you anyway in a minute. I think it was just me being fussy. So, fetch the card in. So we've got the card. Let's zoom back out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. So, I'm going to glue these on. We're going to be popping them on dimensionals then. I don't mind the little bit of pink. If you don't mind... Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. And like I'm saying, we're just using the backings off some designer series paper. Now, these are from a card kit. I'm using the corner because that fits up right in the corner of my birdhouse. Just like that. Then I'm using the end pieces because they're nice and straight. And they'll fit up that side. And I find these a lot thicker than, see if I can get that off my finger. And that'll fit on there. Put one in the center, one on this end, and I've got another one to go in the center. I am going to flick my little birdies over and add a dimensional on the back of each birdie. And I might add one. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nearly caught me then. So, sentiment, guys. Let's glue our little trough. I'm going to use the blue. I like that. Yeah, I'm going to do some, what are they called? Fun fold cards using this stamp set as well. I'm going to glue on the blue, the roof. That is so cute, and this scalloped edge, I'm just using it for the colour, for a pop of pink. It just brightens it up a little bit. There's a die, there's a stamp actually, you can stamp the little trellises inside, but we'll do that on a different card. And I'm just going to tuck that right up close. That is so sweet. I'm going to glue down my little hole. Whoops, don't come poking up. How sweet is that? And then our little perch. Isn't that cute? That is so cute. And then I'm not going to glue this down yet until I might have that way. I'm gluing this down instead of having it dimensional. So I'm going to make sure I've got this roughly in the center of my card. Make sure it looks straight. That looks so cute. Then our little birdhouse. That's so cute, and that's just gonna sit. Make sure before I press that it's nice and straight. That looks okay to me. Then the birdie, we chop the feet off. I'm just going to tuck him. In fact, I might cut a little bit more of his feet. You can still see the tops. I just don't want to see them. So you can still see it. There we go. There's our cute little birdie. And this one, I got it to stand here, thinking, but I'm covering that hole, so I'm going to put him on this perch this time, down there. Oh, I love it. Now, with my Hello Friend, I'm going to glue the top off and add a dimensional just at one end. And I'm going to slop some glue down there. And before I press, oh, that's lovely and straight. So cute. You could leave it just like that, but I think that's adorable. So now my little flowers, I may just take that one off. There's no gap. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to glue that in there. This is an extra. It cuts those 5 flowers out, but all together. So I'm just going to leave those 3 poking out. And then I've got myself these beautiful gold gems that the gorgeous Sandra sent me. He's a little darling. Thank you very much. I love these gems. So I don't have enough in the blue. And I don't want to use the grey ones. So I'm going to use the gold centres. And I'm going to use the small ones on the small ones. There it is. And then I'm going to use a slightly bigger one on those flowers. That's the one we just trimmed off. So let me see what we've got sticking out here. Obviously we've got, oh, I've got one, oh, I've got a tiny one there as well. 1, 2, I've got 3 there. And again, I'm just going to pop these in the palm of my hand and press. And then I can add a touch of glue. And I'm going to add one. I'm not going to add it. Oh yeah, I am. I am going to add it down below. And I'm just moving it until it grips. I find that with the art glitter glue, so if you're moving it around, it grips to the paper and it sticks better. If I was to just rest it on there, it'd take ages to dry. So I'm just going to keep mushing until it grips and then it's stuck. And then, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to use 2 more, so 6, 7. So I'm just going to dot. I'm going to have one here. And I'm going to have one I had 5, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think I'll have one just here. Mind you, I've got one spare. Who's going to be counting apart from me? And maybe I'll stick one there. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. Grab my, then we're going to grab some of that designer series paper that we used to cut the birdhouse out. It's a 4-inch wide piece, so I know when I trim a 1/2-inch strip off there, get that level. Don't waste these bits because you can get so many 1/2-inch strips off there for go on inside of your cards. I'm just going to pop that inside and that'll decorate the bottom of my card. Love that. That is so cute. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I think that one's prettier than that one. Yeah, it's the same card. We just swapped over the DSP. Oh, I love it. Love it. So don't forget what that little die is for. And my dimensionals are virtually gone. They were from a card kit. Love the dimensionals from the card kit. They tend to last. You could pop some Wink Stella on there. I love the old blue wood looking against the brown. Brown's lovely, but I love that style now. Just by swapping your designer series paper, exactly the same card. Might have a couple of extra flowers on there, but you can use these little bits to get all your other little bits out. But there we go. I just wanted to show this beautiful. I am going to be using this Stampin' Dies again on a fun fold card. So come back and watch that one. I've used the country flowers on a couple of them. I love that set. Absolutely beautiful. If you're going to buy a suite, it's got 2 stamps, 2 dies, 2 lots of papers. It's got ribbons. It's got glimmer papers, I think. I can't even show you. Next week you'll be able to see it. You probably all had your catalogues anyway, but I can't show it online. But if you're going to buy a mega suite, buy this one. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. But there we go. This card, just reversals of the papers and reversals of, well, just the papers, and it's turned out absolutely gorgeous. So there's the first one I made. So cute. And then this one, just by switching up the papers, I think is absolutely stunning. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed. Love a thumbs up and a share. All glory to our great Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ, because there's these beautiful talents to share with you, gorgeous ladies, and I want to send my appreciation for all the support you've shown me over the years, and just to tell you I love you guys. So I'll see you on the next video. Take care and be kind. Till next time. Bye.